sliding down a side street like a hazmat loaded truck. The world is full of heroes, but I don't give a damn. The deities once lived there, but they're not there anymore. The Dodgers moved to L.A., the Mets still play in Queens. I don't know where God is, but the devil's in New Orleans.
So, where you guys were last was you were heading out in the van with Hera. You were still with Jean Marie, so you were currently out of the picture or busy or doing something. But the rest of you with Hera were heading out in the van after you've watched Sidney St. Clair die. Who's driving?
Usually it's
You're generally the wheelman, so okay, you're driving. All right, cool, go ahead.
I'm just with Hera. Like, are you okay? I'm checking her to see if she's, been...
She seems a little shell-shocked. Not like she's quite realized what has happened. You get the feeling that she's been kind of brutalized by their attacks for a while.
Right.
Not sure exactly how long. But when you start asking her, what are you asking her exactly?
Well, how long ago was it that we first discovered? How long ago was that party? Like a week?
2 days ago. No,
oh,
2 days ago. Right. It has
it
not
seems like
been
so
long.
Much happened.
Right. I know, right? Well, that's how it always is. Yes.
All right, so that's 2 days, but it was probably nonstop.
Speaking did you come in your car?
He's not there.
He's not there.
He's not there.
He's not there. Okay.
Because he flew.
His car is at Tipitina's, and he's currently at...
restaurant thing.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. I was about to say, because, I was sitting there trying to remember who all was there and who all was there. And everything. I was like, you're doing something. Like, you weren't here.
Yeah, he's hanging out with the kingpin of New Orleans, actually. Who's quite fetching for a kingpin, and yeah.
He is quite fetching.
She is. Well, he knows now. But So, you're asking Hera what?
I'm just ask her how she's doing. I think I'm gonna try to soul gaze with her, just to make sure she's okay.
Okay. I'm not sure. Realize that soul gazing is a little traumatic.
Okay.
And if she's been traumatized, I'm not going to say you shouldn't do it, but it might be a little bit rough on her at this point.
All right, then I won't. I'll just talk to her instead.
Okay. She kind of looks a little dazed, and then you get the feeling that some of what you're saying kind of starts to sink in, and she turns and looks at you, and she just kind of looks at you and just goes and starts crying, and she just kind of leans in on you, and you can tell she's just really tired. You can see that she's kind of grimy. Remember, she's in her underwear. Right. They had taken away her clothes to kind of try and break her, and they were trying to get her to. She starts incoherently babbling about how they tried to get her to accept the coin, and she wouldn't take the coin, and she refused, and so then they started hurting her, and so she wouldn't take the coin, and she held out, and it was all she could do. She used everything that you taught her to keep them from hitting her with the fire and the darkness, and then she just kind of breaks down into sobs and just leans against you and just kind of pulls in, and she's kind of gently rocking back and forth like this. She seems pretty upset.
I'm gonna take off my trench coat and I'm gonna put it around.
Yeah, I mean she has like I said, she's in her underwear, so which is still traumatizing. So you put your trench coat around her, and she just leans into you and just kind of sobs. The rest of you, what are you doing?
I'm leaving.
We're all driving together, aren't we?
Yes. You're driving. You're riding.
I'm riding, and
you're riding.
I'm hanging on to life by a thread with 3rd-degree burns, so I'm gonna suggest going to the hospital. Oh, you have that?
No, he hasn't used it.
Oh, okay. Will that?
It reduces your.
What kind of wound do you have?
I have
consequence, I should say.
I have a mild and a severe consequence. I am bruised and have 3rd-degree burns.
I believe we agreed that it shifts all of your consequences by one less.
Right.
So
and begins the healing process. Right.
Yeah.
Was it your worst consequence that you have would become a -4 instead of a -2? We could call that maybe instead of 3rd-degree burns, maybe just severely burned. Okay. But yes, severely.
2nd degree. I mean, aren't...
Yeah, we could call it second-degree burns, but I think I liked more along the lines of burned but covered in salve. Because it means that you're starting to heal, right?
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, these are not gonna probably heal completely.
Oh, they will eventually.
Oh, okay.
Well, no, that's true. You're not a wizard, so you may have some scarring. We'll see. Okay, I mean they're
Now,
pretty bad.
My mild consequence, do I still have that?
Yeah, because the potion affects one consequence. Is what it
Gotcha,
is.
okay.
Yeah.
You know, the aquaform or whatever.
So you're driving, all right? You hand her a potion over your shoulder. She takes it and drinks it, and the rest of you are you probably got the first aid kit. And,
This doesn't affect my stress boxes, though, right?
Your stress boxes are still there for now because we're not quite to another scene yet.
Gotcha. Okay.
Because as you're driving, what happens is all of a sudden the windshield goes black.
Great.
Love that for us.
Yeah, and so the windshield goes black. You can't see.
I hit the brakes.
Yeah, you hit the right. Okay, you stop. You hear something land on top of the car or the van.
I sure heard this fault.
Hey guys!
Okay, and at which point the windshield kind of clears a bit. And now, if I remember correctly, this was kind of evening. Yes, so it should be around 6 or 7 o'clock. Probably the sun's setting. You hear something land on top of the van.
But
Go ahead.
when the windshield
Talk.
turns black,
Okay.
is that a spell?
You don't know. Just
Can I attempt to counterspell? Thinking that it might be a spell.
Okay. Counter spell. Go ahead. Yes.
Okay. So with my sword,
Uh-huh.
I don't remember if I've used it 3 times or not.
You have used it twice.
Okay, so my sword, I can do a fantastic +6 counterspell.
To do that, you have to touch the spell, which would require you to literally shove it through the windshield. Now, I'll let you do that.
Shove the spell through the windshield?
The sword through the windshield.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Okay, so
Yeah.
okay, so you're gonna try and shove it through. I need a might check. Okay, because you're trying to shove it through a windshield. Now, that being said, I'll let you reconsider if you'd rather not do that.
Yeah, we better reconsider.
She might do it.
She might.
I'm at
See
a
what you did
0.
there. Yeah.
I'm at a 0. Have you seen me roll?
Well, it's just
So-
a straight dice. You don't have a negative modifier, right?
What do you mean?
Right, it's just a straight dice roll.
Because if you're at 0,
Yeah.
it's not going to count against you if you just want to roll on the dice.
Right.
And see.
You want to try it?
Okay.
Don't waste it if it's a resource
Well, I mean,
or
yeah,
something.
up to you. Up to you. She's going to try and shove the windshield through your van's, her sword through your van's windshield.
Oh.
Go
It's
ahead.
up to you. It is up to you.
I'll wait.
Okay. You hit the brakes. Okay. It's still very, very dark, and then you notice that the windshield kind of gets a little more translucently, like you can see, and you have heard something land on top of the van, and then there's a noise outside the van, and you see that the darkness starts to kind of seep in under the van's door.
Don't
So
like
you say that it's kind of sort of translucent now?
Right, like it's getting thinner. Almost like it's being spread out over the van more, is what I'm saying.
Oh.
Right.
Then I start moving again.
Okay, you start moving again. You start to hit, go again, and the darkness kind of grabs the... I'm going to need you to make a might check for the van. The van has a might of 3, okay? It's reasonably strong. Ooh.
Hey.
So 5?
Okay. You notice that the darkness is ripped away from it, and the darkness slips out from under the door. You do notice that the door kind of looked like something was trying to reach in and maybe get the unlock handle and open it, and then it's ripped away, and so you start barreling down the streets again. Again, you're driving. Anybody want to look around or see
I'm
anything?
definitely
Yeah.
gonna check him.
How many windows are in this van?
Well, there's 2 bubble windows because you gotta have bubble windows because
Yeah.
it's that kind of van.
And then
There's probably windows out the back.
like 2 small ones?
Well, the normal van type
Right,
door
that's
because
what
the
I'm
back
wondering.
opens up.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
Right.
Okay. You want to look out the back? All right. On the street, you see Nicodemus Archeleon standing there, and he's got these huge, shadowy wings behind him. And as the van pulls away, you see him kind of grimace and launch himself into the air again, and the wings spread out. So he looks like he's flying after you guys.
Did Lucky Charms
What was
give
that?
me something where I could like summon him or tell them we need help?
Did who?
Lucky Charms.
Oh, the
The-
guy who showed up in my
The
port.
chalice? You don't have the chalice
No,
with you?
Elias
No, the
Dupree.
guy-
Elias Dupree.
Yeah, Elias Dupree.
Yeah, well, you can talk to him through the
The
chalice,
lucky
remember?
Didn't he give me a pin or
Charms?
something?
He has a pin
That
that,
was
remember,
his,
if the pin
tag
gets
thing,
lost or
his
broken, it'll notify the
Oh,
council.
just lost
Right.
or broken. Okay.
Well, no, but I mean, you could reach up and go, I mean, it's up to you.
But he gave me another
It's a little silver,
Hey,
staff.
one. Yeah, I'm gonna do it.
Okay. So you snap the pin. And as you begin driving, I mean, you probably gunned it, and you notice he launches himself into the air. Are you going to do anything else? You're driving, so you're
Yeah.
kind of busy.
Is he... Can I kind of track his trajectory? Is he going for the roof again?
Looks like it. Yes.
I'm gonna shoot at him then. I mean,
Okay. Go ahead. You going to lean out the window? Because that's to see him. He's kind of looks like he's above the van.
yeah,
So
yeah.
I mean, just saying.
I was
Yeah.
just like,
So you roll down the window and shoot at him.
Alright.
Okay,
Yeah.
make a roll.
Okay.
Can anybody breathe fire?
Big lightning.
Yeah.
That could
Mm.
be a shot. That's 2 though, probably.
That's a 2.
Are you with? You're not with us yet.
Okay. Let me do his athletics check. He got a 4. So you and he kind of swoops out of the way with these big old huge nightmare looking wings. You just look like you had him kind of in your sights, but he's pretty nimble on these wings, is what it is. Anybody else?
Is he on the roof now?
No, he's flying above you.
Okay.
Okay.
So we've been trying to outfit this van with gear and stuff to
Right.
be ready. Is there a chance there's rope in here?
You want to give me a feint point and I'll let you have it?
I am out of fate points.
Then there's no room.
Okay. Next time there'll be
Can I
rope.
give you a fate point?
Yeah, exactly.
Why, yes, you can. So what happens is he says, you're looking for rope, and Darwin says, what are you looking for?
Rope.
Oh, that's up here. And he reaches, and there's a huge coil of rope, I guess probably around like the actual transmission, thingy there, because it's not a manual. And so he reaches up and tosses it over his shoulder, and it looks like it's probably about 30 or 40 feet of rope. Yeah.
Okay.
What do you do?
I am...
It's what I do. I'm utility.
That's right.
I am creating a tether for myself so that I don't fall.
Okay.
Tying the rope around my waist, and then I am anchoring it to part of the seat.
Okay.
And I am opening the back doors of the van and leaning out.
Oh, how a little bit of healing has
All right.
made her strong.
Okay, so you do that, and in the meantime of you doing that, you kind of leaned out the window. You see Archeleon, Nicodemus, look down at you, and he kind of gets this grin, and he swoops towards the top of the van again, lands on top of the van, and then again the black wings sweep down, and you're just kind of covered in darkness. You can't see anything. Now, you lean out the back. The wings do not cover you. They cover the van, but you kind of leaned out, and there's kind of a little gap where you can do that. So what are you going to do? He's on top of the van now.
Okay, if I'm
just
going to
imagining
just
this
grab onto
with
the...
like you, like covered in burns, slapping aloe vera, just like
Aloe vera!
just going to sort of hoist myself up a little and...
Stabbing? Okay. Give me a weapons check.
Come on, baby.
whip on.
Oh, wow,
So
okay.
it's just straight up. Do I add my weapons bonus to this part?
I don't... You just weapons plus your dice roll. I don't think you get a weapons bonus for the spear, do
It's
you?
a +3 spear, but do I add that to
That's
the damage?
That's
Okay,
damage.
got you.
Yeah, got you.
All right, so this is a 5.
Okay.
Well, it's a No, it's a 5. I don't think I get this bonus with the spear.
Yeah. Okay, so you stab at him, and it looks like you're about to hit him, probably gashing pretty good in his hip. And all of a sudden, one of those black shadowy wings kind of wraps around the spear and takes the hit for him. And you're just like, because he's cheating. He shouldn't be able to do that. Yeah, and so the shadow kind of, and it tatters and tears one of the wings, which kind of gives you the ability to see a little better because he has to defend himself. Are you still moving, or are you going to hit in the brakes? It's hard to see now.
Windshield wipers.
Wait, you're leaning out the window, right?
Yeah, he's leaning out the window. Yeah, he's kind of, you can see him. He's covered literally in the
I
wings.
kind of feel like windshield wipers would have came on at some point.
Yeah, I mean, you would have done that. You would have tried.
But
Damn it, I can't see.
And turn the radio down. That always helps.
So you can see.
so question here.
Yes.
Facts.
Immediate response would depend on how much more road I had going straight out.
You had a good bit.
Good bit.
Now it's bumpy road because
Bumpy road.
this area of New Orleans, the roads are not real smooth. But you've got a good bit of road straight ahead of you. You're kind of in the Garden District, and a lot of these roads, while they do curve gradually, are reasonably straight. Okay.
Then I feel like I probably would have been going straight for a little while longer.
Mm-hmm.
And it's so stupid, but if it persisted for longer than a couple seconds, I feel like my next action would have just been like, do this little move a couple of times just to see.
Give me a roll. This
Is it driving?
This is a luck roll.
Luck.
Oh wait, do you have driving? I'll let
I
you
do
have
have
driving.
driving.
Roll. I like that even better.
But even with that would be 1.
Okay. So you start wobbling the wheel, trying to shake him off, and you actually hear him kind of go thump, thump, thump up there. And then all of a sudden there's a crash as the van seems like it's hit something.
Sorry.
The darkness disappears, okay? And you see Archeleon be flung forward off the front of the van. He does this kind of pirouette in the air thing and lands on top of a car. You've hit a parked car.
Yeah, fair enough.
And he lands on top of the car. The car's top goes crunch because he hits it that hard. And the wings just kind of go whoosh inside like that. And he leaps off the car and looks like he's coming around to the door again, okay?
Okay.
You can see him because he's going to be walking by the driver's side, and you can see him because now you can see everything. So yeah, and you're leaned out the back, and he's coming around this side. Right.
Back it up,
So-
Terry.
So, because I'm this kind of person, you were leaning out the back. We
Yeah.
made an immediate stop.
Yeah.
You probably are now back inside the van.
Probably over the seat.
I mean,
Up in the
again,
front seat
you didn't
with
hit it
Miranda.
probably going
I did
faster than
tie
maybe
myself to
15
the back
miles
seat,
an
Right.
hour.
so
I mean,
I
you
won't
were not
become
going
projectile
right.
and
Yeah.
take you guys out.
Well, that's good.
Yeah, you didn't hit it. You didn't hit it hard.
Well, you won't hurt us
you're
because you're covered in
probably
stuff.
the
Just
the
slide
bumper.
right past us.
The bumper's dented.
Just slip off
The
like a
front
bullet.
part of the van is probably fine because this is one of those
Yeah.
old vans, and so it has real metal bumpers, and so it probably went crunch. You're going to need a new bumper. Maybe have to make sure that the quarter panels are all straightened. But again, most of the van is metal, so it won't be hard to do. So all right, you're in the van now, kind of over the back seats.
We need to put more aloe vera on her so she can be super
Slippery.
super slippery, so he can't like.
She's got a lot on her.
I know. So he can't grab her.
All right, so what you
Another
hear,
grease spell.
he walks around the van. Again, the shadows start sweeping up underneath the door.
Oh, which door is it?
Actually, I guess the passenger side is generally where the door is. So he
Yeah.
doesn't pass you. He's going to be walking past you, which you can lean out the window and empty it.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Make me a roll.
You can do it. I believe in you.
Ooh, no.
No.
No. No. Yeah, that's this is nice.
Pow, 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 pow. You missed
I am,
with that.
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm. Oh,
Bella.
Now you got a 357, I believe.
Yeah.
So
Can you
okay,
make us
you get
another
5 shots. Bam, 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 bam. Couple of them miss. The other 3 smack right into his shoulder, and he just kind of ignores them. And you remember that had happened before. You guys had stabbed him, and he just kind of ignored the damage. As you shoot him, and one hits him here, one hits him here. There's kind of a tiny spurt of blood, and it closes immensely. And he just kind of looks at you and rolls his eyes as he walks towards the door.
gonna say, "Come with me," and I'm going to attempt to open a doorway to the Never Never.
Okay,
And
so
let us
Come with me if you want to live.
all right. I believe that's an evocation thing. So you need to make a. Let's see. The strength here is probably going to be about a 3, which means you have plenty of lore. What's your lore?
5.
Okay, so you have plenty of lore to do that. Now you just need to make a discipline check at probably about strength 3 or 4. Shouldn't be too bad. How long do you want it to stay open? Just very quickly? You gonna pull
Just
everybody
long-
through?
Yeah.
You can pull the van through?
No, because how are you
Yeah,
going to drive the
that'd be kinda
van?
hard to
And
do,
I
yeah.
just can't imagine that. So
Never Never's kind of weird. So yeah, go ahead.
I'm going to say Sans van.
Okay, so you're just gonna pull everybody through with you. So you're opening it within the van, so that when he opens it, yeah. Okay, gotcha. Cool.
Is that cool? Unless you want me to take the van with us. I mean,
You do you.
Whatever
I'm not
gets us
sure how
there.
you get the van
Yeah.
through without getting Archeleon.
and
too.
I
I
don't
was
think,
just
I don't
asking.
think the
Yeah.
van would be usable
I'm not sure.
anyway.
You know, driving a van through the Never Never might not be a bad thing. So there you go.
I mean, definitely bragging rights.
Yeah,
Correct.
Do you know anyone
I-
else who took a trip
What
down
would
van
take
through
you?
the
What
Never
would
Never?
take you
You
in a
know,
van through the
we
Never
could-
Never?
We could take a van through the Never Never.
I think
on a
it'd be
vacation.
too
Let's just do it like just on a random Sunday instead of
Yeah.
Yeah, let's go around.
Okay.
We'll practice. We'll practice
There you
later.
go.
All right, we're gonna practice later.
All right. Cool. So
Picnic in the Never Never,
strength
that's
4.
smart.
So you need. What's your
That
discipline?
does not sound.
5.
Okay, so make sure you at least get a 4 on that. You should be able to. Oh, that's a 3.
That's a 3.
Do you want to re-roll?
Yeah.
Okay.
Or
Or
just
do you
gonna
want to
add
add plus
two.
2? Plus 2 would do it
I'm just
too.
gonna add 2.
Okay.
thing.
If y'all will grab that for me and toss it down this direction.
What?
What are you doing,
No,
John?
I like it whenever you know she shoots it and knocks it over.
Yes, don't worry about it. We've got some nice bourbon here. I'd prefer her not
Here you
to
go.
knock over. No? Okay, that's fine. I'm just kidding. All right. Let's last my Basil Hayden dark rye. Anyway, so you start kind of gesturing, and you notice that there's kind of this bubble that appears, and then all of a sudden, reality, as you know it, splits. And you can see on the other side what looks like maybe a medieval city. There's kind of a castle up on a hill. Honest to God, medieval castle. You see what looks like people walking down the streets with carts and horses. Horses look a little weird. Some of them look like normal horses. Some of them have horns. Some of them have too many legs. A few of them have wings. And it looks like you're going to be coming out on a street in this weird-looking medieval city.
this is a good idea. I feel good about this.
Yeah, we're just gonna roll with it.
Okay.
All right. I have Hera.
Mm-hmm.
I'm carrying her. And
Okay, you
then,
grab her. Everybody else diving
and then-
through.
Yeah.
The shadow
I'll give her
starts
my
sliding underneath the door. The door,
Well, she's on my
it
church.
reaches up and unlocks it, and then pulls the inside handle. And so the door slides open, and Archeleon goes, "Oh, my gosh, I have to keep chasing you about the time you guys all start tumbling through this rift in
And as soon as
reality."
everybody's through, I'm.
You close it, and he takes a step forward right as you close the rift. Okay, so you're standing on this dirt street. There's lots of what look like medieval buildings. Most of them are thatched. A few of them actually have really stone roofs. They've got cobblestone in some of the nicer areas. Lots of people. Nobody bats an eye at you coming through a rift. Though when I say nobody, all the people here look different. There are people who look like elves. There are people who look like satyrs. There are people who look like minotaurs. There's centaurs. I mean, pretty much any kind of fey creature or creature from mythology you can think of. You see them walking down the streets, looking like this is just a common day occurrence where somebody stepped through a hole in reality and is now on the street. You hear the cries of people trying, "Sweet meats, buy sweet meats, 1 copper piece, blah blah blah. Best ale over here, 1 gold for a mug of ale." And you're like, "A mug of ale for gold must be really good gold." Then I've got the best weapons in all the 7 realms, and so there's
And all we have is paper money.
Yeah.
yeah, that's gonna work. Well,
So-
you
Do
got
I
gold
have
somewhere.
Cell phone service.
No. Okay, your cell phones does not work.
So we've gone into Never, running from the head honcho of the Silvernarians into a medieval-esque realm
Right.
filled with fey creatures.
Right.
Sounds like a job for the autumn night.
Ooh!
I was thinking the same thing.
Right. Remember, Swift is with you guys, I believe.
Oh, I didn't realize that. I
Do
thought
your
he was.
thing, honey.
He's with you guys. I think he's been there.
Oh yeah, he's
He got
always-
really hurt.
He
didn't
doesn't leave him alone.
Yeah.
I
No,
think-
yeah.
I think he did get pretty hurt.
Yeah, he's
honestly.
pretty hurt,
Yeah.
but he's still there. You notice, however, that you are no longer clad in your normal gear. You are now clad in what looks like a leaf cloak, a nice brown shirt that kind of has little lacy things right here. You're wearing what looks like these kind of hose. Black hose there, and you've got a belt that looks like it's made of woven vines, and
Like
the thing that you normally wear on your belt that becomes the spear has now become a full-fledged spear. It's big spear, kind of flames, kind of kicking around the edges, and so you're like, whoa, okay, so yeah, no glamours here. Yeah,
Wow.
Second, is it just him? Is
just
the rest
him. No, just him.
I like the idea that this is what he actually
It's
always
always-
looks like. Normal clothes is the glamour.
Exactly. This
He
is it.
just doesn't know it, and neither does anyone else.
Yeah.
And Swift is outfitted in this articulated, what looks like plate mail. And it covers here, and it's got, it's kind of got an open face. You can see on his back is this big ornate kind of bow that's got, looks like little sprigs of things growing out of it, and he's got a full quiver of arrows on his back. These huge cloth yard shafts. And he's actually wearing, like I said, complete full armor. He's got a shield on his arm, sword on his hip. And he's like, whoa, okay, so it looks like there's no glamours here. Not sure why there's no glamours at this point. The rest of you look normal.
Do phones can our phones take pictures in the Never Never?
Yeah, you're going to take a picture with your Nokia.
No, not me.
Good
I
luck.
didn't know if their phones can take pictures. I can't remember when
Selfie.
year.
Yeah.
You gonna try?
What
Dude,
year?
Volt's gonna be so mad.
Yeah.
So you
I'm just saying. we
you
gotta
take a
get
picture. Yeah, actually,
Yeah.
it seems to be working.
Everybody crowd in.
Though you do get this notification that it doesn't seem to upload to the cloud. So yeah, okay.
That's
All right.
okay. At least it's on the phone. We got proof.
So what do you want to do?
Proof of what Bunk normally looks
Well,
like.
Wait, he has this cool outfit. Do you perchance have gold in your pocket? I mean, you're the autumn
should.
knight. Wouldn't you have money?
the pouch, you do have a pouch, but it's empty. Swift, however, looks at you and says, Sir Autumn Knight, why are you checking your pouch?
See if I have any gold.
Oh, you have no need of gold, sir. I have all the gold that you will need. And he reaches down at his
Swift's
belt,
the man.
and he's got this cute little velvet pouch, and he reaches in, and he reaches in a handful of silver and gold pieces and copper. He says, I am supposed to take care of the needs of the Autumn Knight. Of course I will have money for the Autumn Knight's expenditures. And he puts it back in there.
You're rich in 2 dimensions.
Exactly, yeah.
Well, you get the feeling this is not rich. You know, I mean,
Yeah, it's like,
if it's a gold for an ale, you're not going to be able to drink a whole lot on this, but you could probably, do
You're
something.
gonna be flushing meat pies.
Yeah.
For sure. And sweetmeats. Yeah.
That's what I
Do
meant
you
to
really
say.
want to eat the meat pies?
I don't know.
I mean, I don't know. If
it's
this
not
is
a
New
Sweeney Todd
Orleans,
area,
Sweeney
is it?
Todd. Well, the Never Never kind of takes on the characteristics of where you are.
This doesn't look like a Sweeney Todd kind of area.
Yeah, it does not. It looks like a typical, very much Dungeons and Dragons medieval city with all kinds of
But I'm
creatures that
kind
are
of
humanoids.
disappointed by the gold situation because I thought we could get outfits too and just.
I've eaten
I mean,
pub food
Do you want
before.
outfits?
In New Orleans, it can't be much worse than the food here.
Yeah, I
No,
mean,
Swift looks at you and says, "Do you want outfits that would match ours?"
Uh-huh.
Oh yeah.
And he says, "Well, I can take care of that." And he says, "Okay."
And Hera too.
And so he does his hands like this to do a glamour, and nothing happens. And he says, "Huh? Let me try again."
Oh, no glamours.
And he goes, "Huh? I guess glamours are not permitted in this city. Well, we
That's just
do
what-
need to find you appropriate garments, so perhaps we should do that."
That's
So in
just
this
what,
place, you see things as they are.
Right.
So we have to, but do we have appropriate garments, or are they gonna become?
Well, nobody really seems to be noticing you. I mean, you're kind of thinking, nobody seems to be really stressed out by the fact that you're wearing,
wondering
modern
how
clothes.
much horsepower a horse
we
with
need
multiple
to-
We
legs
just need
would have.
garments for Hera. She needs more clothing than a trench coat.
The traction
Yeah.
has to be amazing.
Yeah.
Now, that being said, you guys are a bit tired. It wouldn't hurt to maybe find an inn, bandage wounds, maybe get something nice to eat, maybe take an evening to rest, maybe find some clothes for Hera besides a trench coat.
Roll my head dice.
So I say we should find somewhere that we can stay, get some food, and
You're standing
Whatever
there, and this little boy comes up to you and tugs on, the sleeve of your coat, of your shirt,
On your
and he's-
elbow.
Of your elbow. Yeah. Well, it's funny because you've got
Pulls
these
your
long
penis.
sleeves.
I'm seeing his hoofs.
Yeah. Well, no, it's not poofy. They're just long. Okay. So, and he reaches out and he says, "Sir, I can lead you to the best inn in the city if you'd like." He's got horns,
Okay.
antlers. Let's go antlers.
I remember those days.
Children.
Not horns.
Let's go
That was one of those
the
kids.
best.
It's only a copper to get there.
All right, let's do it.
Swift reaches down, hands you some copper. The little boy takes off, and he's got like what looks like cloven hooves, kind of for his legs. This little boy is leading you to the best inn in the city. He takes off. You're following him. It takes you maybe 30 minutes to get to what looks like a pretty nice inn. It's in the upper part of the city, towards the castle. And there's a sign outside that has a goose, but it's painted kind of a yellow color. He says, "Golden Goose, best inn in the city, I promise you." Would you need any messages taken anywhere, or is there anything I can do for you?
Do we know anyone here?
You have no idea.
I'm pretty sure I don't know any of these people.
Yeah.
I'll just take some pocket change that I have out
Okay.
because,
Oh,
and I'll
okay.
give that to him, and I'll be like, just make yourself available in the
You have
next
no
little while.
one who needs a message. He looks at your change and his eyes light up. Okay, and he says, "You have no one who needs a message. This is a fortune, milady."
It's a couple of nickels.
Take some of it back.
You can't do that.
Yeah.
Perhaps
The
someone in
exchange
this.
rate.
Perhaps someone
So
needs
she's
a message.
So we have some somebody who would do some healing. Do we have?
Oh, a healer. I can definitely find you a healer.
Yeah.
There is a
Good
temple
call.
to the good Saint Cuthbert that I can make sure one of their healers can be here. And he said, "All right, I'm off." And so he takes off, and you're kind of like, "What?" Yeah. So, and he takes off. The kid takes off. You go into the Golden Goose.
Yeah.
All right. Common room. Immediately when you walk in the door,
Couple
the
of nickels.
smell of what smells like meat cooking and vegetables. There's several people sitting around drinking from tankards. There's food on the table. Cute little redheaded girl walks up to you. She looks like she's maybe 12. Says, "Yes, could I get you a table?"
Yes, please.
Okay, so she leads you over to this table, seats you, and says, "What do we have to drink?"
Oh, something
What's available?
strong.
Oh, we have wine, we have beer, we have Bloody Marys. We also have with this really
Mulled
nice
cider?
brandy. We have water. We have lemonade. We have sweet tea. We have anything, just about anything you could ask for.
I'll just have an old fashioned.
Old fashioned. I was coming right up.
I'll just get water.
Water,
Yeah, just give me a beer.
beer,
I'll have a beer and she'll have a cider.
and you'll have. Oh, sorry. And he says, she says, "That'll be 1 gold for the round." Swift reaches down, pulls out a gold, hands it to her. You sit down, and within a couple minutes, she comes thunk, 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 lazy. She's got old fashioned.
She said she had
She
one.
says, "Anything to eat for any of you? The chops are quite well, but we also have a very good venison stew."
Venison stew sounds good to me.
Stew?
I remember getting the stew. She says.
Dudes.
All right, that'll be a silver apiece. That'll be 5 silvers. Swift reaches into his pocket, pulls out a gold. She gives him 5 silvers back. He puts it in there and says, "All right, food around. You also get a plate of bread as well." And off she goes. You notice that there is a bartender behind the bar. He's a very heavy-set man with dark hair. He's polishing one of his tankards and puts it over there. And as he notices you're looking around, he kind of nods and tips like that to you. 5-10 minutes goes by and she comes out with a bunch of stew and a plate full of this dark bread. It's still warm. You cut into it, and it's kind of steaming, and it's got all this barley. If you ever had the bread at not Olive Garden,
McGuire.
no. Oh, McGuire's, it's a good one. If you've ever had the bread at McGuire's or ever had the bread at Outback, thank you, then this is that kind of bread that got those nice little pieces of barley in it, and it's all warm, and it's got butter that comes with it, and so you start eating. It's really the food itself just kind of immediately tamps your kind of stress level about 2 notches down. You've kind of been eating for a while, and the little redheaded girl comes over and says, will you be requiring a place to stay for the night?
Well, we should get a couple rooms.
Yes.
Private rooms or the common room?
How many people can fit into a private room?
Well, it's up to you. I have rooms for singles. I have rooms for doubles as well.
We could probably get
It's
2
your
double
money.
rooms and make it
Yeah.
work with me and
Yeah.
here.
Couple doubles.
Couple double rooms. Okay, there'll be a gold a night. And of course, Swift reaches in the pocket, pulls out some more gold coins. I do notice he's kind of looking at the pouch, wondering how much he's got left. He hands her a gold and says, well, I'll get the rooms ready for you. Okay.
Hey, Swift, what's the exchange rate in, American money to Never coin?
He looks at you and he says, well, the big difference is this is fairy gold, which means that it's been created by the Fae out of wishes and dreams and desire. What you're trading in is real coin, which is not from the Fae. And so it has a reality attached to it that the Fae can't make. We can make gold, we can make, glamours and stuff like that, but what you're trading is something that's real, which makes it incredibly valuable.
Did I make a mistake by just, handing out change willy-nilly?
No,
Okay.
but you definitely handed out a lot of money to that young man.
Okay.
Yeah, so
I hope
he's...
that doesn't get him in trouble.
All right, let's start
Well,
checking
we'll
our
hope not,
pockets.
Yeah, if you find any pocket change or stuff like that, it's going to be worth probably quite a bit, because Swift says, again, fairy gold is kind of made by the Fae and attached to them in a certain way, but something that is brought from the real world and actually comes from the real world and is not attached to the Fae is I guess it has its own existence, and so it's really valuable. It'd be kind of like if you gave someone your trench coat, because it's not from the Never that increases its value a lot.
Okay.
Anything you bring into the Never from the other world has a different existence tied to it, which makes it really, depending on what it is, really, really, really valuable. I mean, a weapon that's been brought into the Never from the real world could have some pretty weird capabilities. So you're kind of like, because it's got, and again, a truer existence than the Never does.
Right.
Yeah, same way, yeah. So anyway, a few minutes goes by, you finish your stew, your bread, you're feeling quite happy and full. Hera seems to have calmed down quite a bit. And the little redheaded girl comes up to you and says, your rooms are ready. Would you like to be seeing them now?
And we're probably pretty tired, yeah.
You are. She says, okay. So she takes you up the stairs. There's kind of a landing around there, and you notice there looks like about 6 or 7 doors around there. She takes you to the first 2 rooms. One of them, she says, this is the room for the gents. And then she takes you to the next door, and she says, this is the room for the ladies. And you'll notice that there's a basin. We also, if for a copper more, we can provide a bath for you. And of course, breakfast is included with the rooms. And so she hands you the key, and then she hands you the key to the room. You also notice there is a bar on the inside that you can put down as well, but there's a lock as well, and there's a chest. It looks like a little table with what looks like one of those washing basins. It's a bowl basically you put water in. There's a pitcher by it, and then there's a little desk, and there's a window. The window does not have bars on it, but that's pretty much how the rooms look. And there's 2 beds, so yeah.
Does Swift sleep?
Do what?
Does Swift sleep?
He does.
Okay.
He does. He's a changeling, which means he's human but raised by Fae.
Gotcha.
So he's got a good bit of knowledge about the Fae, but he still gets tired. as much
Before
as
we
anybody.
split up, we'll be like, we should probably, like take shifts, take watch or whatever. So.
Yeah.
Swift says he's welcome to take. He would be happy to take the first watch because
Well, I'll have to do it for each room.
Yeah. Well, he can watch both rooms. I mean, he can literally sit between the two rooms and make sure.
I'll take the second watch.
Okay. Cool. So first, second, 2 hours each.
I'll do
take
the
one, yeah.
okay.
Third, fourth. Okay, cool. That should be enough because of 8 hours then. You head inside, kind of bed down for the evening, set up shifts of watches. Nothing untoward happens. You get the feeling this is actually a really nice inn. About 4 hours into the evening, the little boy that you paid comes up the stairs and says, it's actually in your shift, and he says, "Mistress, the healer from the Church of St. Cuthbert can't make it until the morning. He says he'll be here first thing."
Okay.
Okay, I will make sure he gets here.
All right.
Then he heads off. All right. Volt. Next morning, you wake up. You're kind of lolling around in bed. Clothes are scattered everywhere. Jean-Marie is not in bed with you, though. You're not sure where she went or where she's gone or anything like that, but you've had a very pleasant night. Slept actually pretty well. And so you're kind of lying in bed on these nice, 1,000 count sheets. So yeah.
Egyptian
Okay.
gods.
Well, I guess I'm gonna grab my clothes, get dressed,
Yeah.
walk around the apartment. Does anything stick out?
Well, you get dressed, come out this, and I mean, her bedroom is huge. There's a bathroom that's probably bigger than your bedroom in the warehouse. And it's got this cool shower with 14 heads that you can choose to program how they come on and, all these different temperatures. And so you kind of get dressed, are you going to head out to the rest of the apartment?
I guess like the living room area.
Yeah. You open the doors, head out to the living room area, and you can hear talking from the kitchen. And as you look that direction, you notice that Jean-Marie is standing in the kitchen and she's on her cell phone. She's got looks like a pot of coffee and a cup of coffee, and she's sipping on it. And she's talking to someone. Okay. Give me an alertness check.
You can do it. Oh no.
That's a 1.
Okay. She's standing there and she's talking to someone, and as she turns and looks at you, and she kind of waves and then turns back to the phone, and she points to the coffee pot.
Okay.
But she's wearing like this kind of silk dressing gown, kind of hits mid-thigh. She still looks really pretty hot. And she's talking, and then as you walk over towards her, she kind of kisses you on the cheek and says, "I brewed a pot of coffee. I didn't know if you'd want anything else in it besides black coffee, so help yourself."
That works fine.
And so she goes back on the phone, and then she kind of leans towards you. She says, "The twins should be in about 15 minutes. I'll get them to cook us for some breakfast if you'd like."
Sure.
Okay, so she's back on the phone. You kind of sit down, pour yourself some coffee.
I'm actually gonna drink coffee and walk around and just look at stuff.
Yeah. You've been to the apartment before. She's got this, beautiful white leather couch area. She's got this chair that looks kind of like almost like a throne that sits with its back to the windows. The windows are open, sun's shining in. There's got the
Can I
balcony.
investigate the throne couch?
Yeah, sure. Go ahead. Well, there's a throne and there's the L-shaped or U-shaped couch.
Okay, the throne then.
Okay, go ahead.
What am I rolling? Just investigation? Is that a thing?
Probably investigation. Yeah.
I got a 2.
Okay. You walk over, kind of look at it. It's very nicely made, dark wood. It's got kind of a velvet back, velvet seat. Don't see anything really odd about it. You get the feeling that this is where she holds court when she's dealing with the other underlings in New Orleans.
Okay.
Wouldn't hurt to have a throne when you're dealing with the underworld. Let them know exactly who's in charge. A couple minutes goes by. You're kind of walking around, sipping your coffee. Do you want to step out onto the balcony and look around? Beautiful view. I mean, the river's in one direction from you, and you've got kind of the Mall of the Americas over to the left, and it's just incredible view. And then you
What
hear
time is it?
it's probably about 7 o'clock in the morning.
Okay.
And so it's reasonably early. I mean, you're not terribly tired.
I don't get tired.
No, you don't. You really don't. and the two big doors open, and the blonde girl and the blonde boy that you remember seeing there before come in, and Jean-Marie turns towards them and she says, breakfast? And she looks towards you and she says, anything in particular you want this morning?
Steak and eggs.
Oh, okay, I can handle that. And so the little girl kind of nods, and they both head towards the kitchen. You notice the boy seems to be getting stuff out of the fridge, and the little girl is, getting things ready to go. They look like they're going to start cooking. And she finishes on the phone, clicks it off, puts it, into, I guess, probably one of the pockets of her robe, and then heads towards you. And she puts her arms around you and says, well, that was a very pleasant evening, much more pleasant than I realized. So, what are your plans for the day?
Well, probably need to check up on the crew, see how they're doing. Kind of left them at a weird spot.
Well, your friends, I understand. I don't want to keep you if you've got plans, but we definitely should get together again.
Yeah, I had a great time.
Yeah, me too. She kind of sits down at the table. You kind of probably talk small talk. Anything in particular you want to talk to her about?
I think we covered everything on the dinner thing. Yeah, I guess. Yeah, we'll just do small talk.
Yeah. She refills your coffee mug it a couple times, and you kind of chat around.
For breakfast.
The breakfast comes out. She has steak and eggs as well. You have steak and eggs. Pretty well done. I'd say medium rare, and the twins obviously know how to cook. And maybe 30-45 minutes goes by. You've kind of gotten
I'll check my phone, see if I have any messages or calls or anything.
I don't think you guys have called him at all yet. No messages or calls yet. And you're pretty ready to go. She says, well, I guess you're going to head out off of the balcony again?
How'd you know?
Well, I was just a little concerned that it's daytime.
I'm pretty stealthy.
Okay. Well, I'll give you a call, and we'll get together and do it again. I've got a few interesting places I can introduce you to in New Orleans I think you'll enjoy.
All right, sounds great. And I lean in and kiss her on the cheek, and I stand up on the balcony, huh?
Give me one more alertness check.
Oh, God. 4.
As you lean in to kiss her, you notice that there's these weird kind of dark swirling marks on her cheek, and they kind of go down her neck, and you can kind of see that they're across her chest. What you can see, you almost think they're like faint tattoos that have either faded over time or something. It's really odd. You're not sure what it is. Do you have lore?
I mean, we've all got the skills a little bit.
Yeah, you make a lore check.
I got a +1 in lore.
Yeah, there you go. Hey, actually, that's not bad.
We'll see. Yeah. Well,
What did you get?
a -1.
No, you don't. Again, they're kind of these swirly marks that run, and it's interesting because they look like they run just about everywhere that you can see on her body.
Have I never noticed these before?
No, you're pretty sure she's never had these before. So this is something interesting, new, different.
Okay.
But you lean in and kiss her. You kind of notice them, and they're very faint. If you hadn't leaned in and kissed her on the cheek, you probably wouldn't have seen them.
I'm gonna actually say, oh, new tattoos, new ink.
And when you say that, she kind of does that, and she takes a step back, and she says, oh, not new, but definitely something I need to take care of.
Take care of?
Yeah, nothing to worry about.
Do you say so?
Yeah.
I'll leave you to it.
Definitely give you a call in a couple days. We'll get back together, and I'll show you a few other sites around the town.
All right. Sounds good.
Leap off the building.
Yeah, I do the thing where I, hands in pockets, put the shades on. I jump up effortlessly onto the balcony and just fall backwards.
Right.
And I spiral and go straight up so nobody sees me.
Okay, give me a stealth check. You do need one of those.
Stealth while you show
Mommy, a dragon!
Well, that's why I'm trying to shoot up so fast so I can get above the
I'm just
clouds.
imagining like Johnny Storm. I'm stealthy.
Yeah. What'd you get?
I got a 2.
Okay. You fly straight up, so hoping to stay out of sight of anybody who sees you. Maybe so.
+2's pretty good.
You're heading back to Tipitina's to get your car?
Paper. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so... Yeah, I guess... Is Tipitina's close to like the water?
Not really.
Well, it's in the Garden District, which means it's docks adjacent. Okay.
How far a walk would it be from the closest like docks or water area?
Good bit. Probably 10 blocks.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I want to go out into the middle
Mm-hmm.
of I guess the closest bay and just go into the water,
Okay.
and then I'll just swim, and then revert back to like a
Yeah, you can do that.
reasonable presence and
Okay.
catch like a taxi or
Okay.
something.
Yeah, it's pretty easy to do. It takes you probably about 30 minutes, maybe 45 minutes
Just
to...
imagine he's like sopping wet,
Yeah.
just like on there. It's like
What's wrong?
taxi.
I just come walking out of the bay. It's better than a dragon flying overhead, and landing at the car.
Actually, it's raining, so it doesn't matter.
Even
It totally
better.
makes sense that you're... roll 2 pluses. I'll give you a bonus on that. Sure.
Sweet.
It's raining, so you get out of the bay. It's raining on you. It's a little overcast. It doesn't look too weird that you're sopping wet to when you call a taxi. Head back to Tipitina's, grab your car, back to the warehouse.
Yeah, I'll go back to the warehouse.
Okay.
I guess I'll probably mosey around and do, look at blueprints, look at plans, maybe go to the other warehouse too.
Right.
Kind of like peek in and write up ideas.
Now, you had called about it, right? The warehouse. Had you gotten a reply yet? I can't remember.
I don't think we got to reply it because it was all, it was called the warehouse,
Yeah.
do the shindig thing, and then
Right.
went to.
Okay. Yeah, you haven't got a call back yet, but you definitely are kind of waiting for it. You kind of go to the warehouse. You can climb the fence pretty easily. Probably, snap one of the locks pretty easily as well and look around. Big, open, empty building, kind of rusty. There is a loading dock on the back where it would be easier to bring trucks in. But other than that, just, again, very big. This one doesn't even have an office area. It is literally a warehouse. That's it. Yeah.
Okay, 1 second. So it just looks like a kind of a normal warehouse.
Yeah, literally big box.
Okay. I'll feel pretty, I guess I'm not satisfied. Go back to my place. Probably just do generic things around the warehouse until it's about 10.
Mm-hmm.
And then give the squad, Miranda a call.
Okay.
I can't want to say Romanda.
Well, Rumanda, even better. Yeah. Okay, so around 7 o'clock, who had last watch? I believe that was you. Okay. Around 8 o'clock rolls around. This gentleman in a white robe carrying this staff with what looks like a Celtic cross on the end of it comes up the stairs. And he sees you and says, "I'm looking for the group that called for a healer."
Oh, yeah, that's us.
Yes. Is your group ready for me to see them?
Yes.
Okay, so what are you going to do?
We'll knock on their door and
Door knock.
Give
You guys are probably kind of...
secret knock.
Yeah.
The,
You guys are probably kind of awake, rolling around, maybe considering breakfast. Yeah, it's pretty early. It's about 7 o'clock.
Yeah.
So, yeah, there's a knock on your door.
Okay, I will just open the door.
Yeah.
Slathered in
at,
whatever.
at which point, that you see a gentleman. He's in a
Looking
white
like
cloak.
Two-Face.
Yeah,
Half-
carrying a staff, and he says, I see why you called for a healer.
Oh, it's not for me. I'm kidding. It is for me also, but
Yeah, well, Swift could use one too. He's kind of hurt.
yes.
And he says, well, then come in and sit down, please, on the bed, and I will take a look at you. And so he pulls his hood back, and he's got whiskers and cat ears, and you notice that he's kind of almost like a white tiger is what you're seeing.
Oh.
But he's not real bulked up or anything. You're thinking more like, kind of a... Anyway, he walks up and he kind of looks at you, and he looks at the burns, and he says, I might be able to help you with that. And so you notice he reaches down into a bag that he's carrying, and he starts digging through it, lays it out on the bed, opens it up, and there's all kinds of these herbs, and looks like vials with different colored liquids, and he says, And so he grabs this one that's blue, and he grabs this little packet of herbs, and he pours it in there, and he shakes it up. And then he puts his hand around it, kind of closes his eyes, and you notice that there's kind of a glow of light between his hands. And he opens his hands, and this liquid is kind of a bluish color, but it's really thick. And he says, "Here, put this on your burns."
Okay, so I see that I take it, but I see that he has a Celtic cross on his staff.
Yes.
And remembering that the kid said something about St. Cuthbert,
Mhm.
can I do like a religion or some sort of check to
Yes.
see if I know who this
You're going to need to make a lore check.
lore check? Got it. That evens out to a 0.
Yeah, you don't recognize Cuthbert. You're not sure who that
Okay.
is. He's not. Okay, he's not a Catholic saint in the Catholic Church. How about that? So, but other than that, you don't know.
Gotcha.
So he says, "Here, put this on your wounds, okay, or your burns." And so, he kind of takes the stopper off, takes a white cloth and puts it on there, and you put it on. Immediately, the burning sensation goes away. And you're like, wow, this is just like really, really cool. It feels like, if you ever had that cooling gel that you put on burn, it feels like this.
Aloe vera.
Yeah, well, no, it's not aloe vera. This is like literally the cooling gel you put on there when you've like got a sunburn or you've gotten a burn or something like that.
Blue stuff.
Yeah, the blue stuff. That's exactly interesting. It's blue stuff. Yeah, who knows? And so you put it on there and immediately cools down. You feel a lot better. And there's also kind of like a little tingling sensation that goes with it. And so you're like,
menthol vibe.
yeah.
That's what I was
Exactly,
thinking,
blue
yeah.
stuff with menthol. Well, so that being said, you're definitely continuing healing, but
Okay.
it doesn't change anything. So, anybody else who's really hurt? Swift?
Swift.
All right. The guy comes over and looks at Swift. Swift's got quite a few cuts on him and scratches, and he kind of looks at Swift's wounds after Swift takes off this armor, and he sees some of them are kind of deep. You notice he puts kind of bandages around him. Looks like there's some kind of salve he puts on them, and then he says, "Yes, I believe this will make sure that the infection does not continue to spread, and it should even combat it, and make sure you keep these bandages clean." And so Swift says, "Sure, I'll do that." So he puts all the bandages on and stuff like that. We're in a new scene, so remember that all of your stress boxes are gone.
All right.
Yeah, you too. You are in a new scene. You're right. No, you're correct.
No, just kidding. Because
You may have
didn't have
gotten a
any
couple
combat.
stress boxes, maybe
Yeah.
not from combat, but a couple stress boxes anyway.
We don't recover our fate points though until the next game.
No, not yet. That'll be at the end of this session, probably.
Well, the Autumn Night has plenty of fate points for us. Darwin has plenty of fate points for us.
Mhm.